Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to make an animated cherry branch similar to this one using Adobe Animate. First go to File, New, select Character Animation HD, check that the frame rate is set to 24 and then click Create. In the new blank document, go to File, Import, Import to Stage, and choose your Adobe Illustrator document that you made previously called Cherry Branch. If your file isn't showing, you may have to go down to this setting here and choose All Files. Then your file should show up on the list. There's mine, and I will click Open. Double check that Animate Layers is chosen here and that there's a check mark next to Place Objects at Original Position. Then click Import. I'm going to drag this so it's more centered, something like that. Now, down here on the timeline, I'm going to click over one frame and add a keyframe. You can use the keyboard shortcut F6 or you can click this button here. Now I'm going to use the zoom tool and choose a cherry to work with. I'm going to choose this third cherry over. You can choose whichever one you want. I will grab the free transform tool and just click multiple times on the black part of the eye until I get the bounding box, which will allow me to click and drag to shrink that eye. Now I'm going to do the same thing to the white one. Just continue to click on it until you can get the bounding box. Now I'm going to use the arrow keys on the keyboard. I find it easier to move things around when they're really small like this by using the arrow keys. Now I'm going to go get the other black part of the eye and click on it multiple times until I get the transform box, and I will shrink that, and now do the same thing to the white part, and then use the arrow keys to move that down. All right, now I'm going to click this white arrow up here to get out of isolation mode, and I'm going to set this to fit in window, and I'm going to count over approximately 12 frames. Okay, which is right here, and click there, and F6 to add a new keyframe, or click this button right here. And if I go ahead and play that, you will see the eyes blink and then stop. Now I'm going to click over, now I'm going to click on the first keyframe, right click and copy frames, and go back to one frame over, right click and paste frames. Now on this frame here, click to make it active, get the zoom tool. Next I'm going to choose, maybe I will choose this cherry right here. You can choose whichever one you want, and I will magnify it with the zoom tool and repeat the process. So get the free transform tool, click multiple times until you isolate the eye, and with the transform tools, shrink that down and do the same thing to the white part. Now this cherry, because it's tilted, I'm going to take another step. Okay, so I've lined those up. I'm going to hold down Shift on the keyboard and click until I have, clicking multiple times until I have the black and the white part selected, and you can see that this mouth here is tilted at an angle. So I'm going to hover the cursor on the outside until I get the rotation symbol, and I'm going to rotate this so it's approximately the same angle as the mouth. I think that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to get this eye and repeat the process. Now if your cherry is straight up and down, you can skip that part, but if your cherry is a little tilted, it will look a little better if you match the angles. Now I'm using my keyboard, my arrow keys to move that down. Hold down Shift and grab the black part of the eye so that they're both selected. Hover the cursor on the corner till you get the rotation symbol. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, I'm going to fit this in the window. Get out of isolation mode. I'm going to count over 12 frames approximately. 1, 2, 3, right about here, and F6 on the keyboard to insert a keyframe. And here I am going to, since the last thing I copied was the first keyframe, I don't have to recopy it. I can just right click and paste again. There we go. Now I'm going to set this on loop and pull out this blue line on the top and push play. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, very nice so far. Now I'm going to push stop and select the last keyframe. And I'm going to repeat the same process with the last two cherries. If you feel like you got it down, go ahead and skip forward in the video. If you'd like to follow along with me, then keep watching. Magnifying glass, and I will choose this cherry right here. Select the transform tool and click this as many times as I need to get the transform option. Keep going with the white one. Use the arrow keys to move that down. Hold down Shift on the keyboard and select both parts of the eye. And since this cherry is tilted a little bit, I'm going to rotate that so it matches the angle of the mouth. Now I'm going to grab this eye and the white part of the eye. Shrink it on down. Use my arrow keys. Hold down Shift. Grab both parts of the eye and rotate that to match. Now set this to fit in window. Get out of isolation mode. Count over 12 frames. 1, 2, 3, 6, 11, 12. And F6 on the keyboard, or click Add New Keyframe right here. And I'm going to right click and paste, and the only thing I've ever copied is the first frame, so that still works. I'm going to drag over the looping feature and push play, and let's make sure I haven't made any mistakes. Nope, looks good so far. Stop. Click the last frame, and now I will go to the last cherry, which I think it's the second cherry. Yes, it's the second cherry. So magnify the eyes, get the transform tool, and shrink those eyes down. And arrow keys on the keyboard. Hold down Shift. Grab both parts of the eye, rotate that, move on to the other eye, shrink that on down, grab the white part, and arrow keys, hold down Shift, grab both pieces of the eye. There we go. And rotate to match the angle. Very nice. And now we will fit in window. Get out of isolation mode. And I'm going to count over 12 frames. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 approximately. Hope I counted right. And F6 on the keyboard. click one more frame, right click and paste frames. That pastes the first keyframe in. I'm going to drag over my looping feature and push play, and let's see if I got that right. Yes. Now I will push stop, and the next thing that I'm going to do is modify the leaves. So in this first section right here, it doesn't matter where you click, just click somewhere in here. I'm going to select one of the leaves randomly, this one right here. I'm going to grab this white dot right here and put it at the tip of the leaf. That's the rotation point. Then I'm going to hover the cursor on the outside and just click and drag this leaf a little bit. And you can drag it however much you want. You can have your leaves really moving a lot, or you can have the movement be more subtle. Now I'm going to choose another random leaf, maybe this one up here. I'll move my white dot down to the base of the leaf and move it a little bit. I'm going for subtle. Okay, so now if I play that, you can see that those two leaves are moving now. Now I'm going to go to the next section and click randomly somewhere, and I will choose different leaves this time. You can animate 2 leaves or 3 leaves or all the leaves. It's up to you. So move that rotation point, move the leaves a little bit. Maybe this time, just to be different, I will animate 3 leaves instead of 2. And you can animate the same leaf more than once. That's okay too. And I'll grab this one, move the rotation point to the tip of the leaf approximately, and rotate this one a bit. Now I'm going to go to the next section, and I'm going to go for out of isolation mode. Pull this white. Oh, have I already done this leaf? Oh boy, I've lost track. So I'll rotate this one and this one, and I'll rotate this one a little bit. All right, now I'm going to play it, mostly because I can't remember which leaves I'm animated and which ones I haven't. So it looks like I've done all of them except this one at the end, so I'll make sure that I get that one. So stop, click anywhere in this area, and I'm going to rotate this leaf a bit, and maybe I'll grab this one too. All right, now I'm going to play it one more time just to see if I want to make any other adjustments. And I think that I am happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and push stop. And I'll show you how to change the background color. So that happens when you're exporting. So I'll go to File, Export, Export Animated GIF. And the last time I saved something, I had changed the background to purple. Purple looks fine, but I'm going to click Other, or click this menu and choose Other, and that gives me this color picker. I think I'm going to go more for a blue color so it looks like the sky, and click OK. And now I can see in the preview here what that's going to look like. Click Save, and this is where I can title it. So I called mine Cherry Branch 2, since this is my second version. And it's going to my Downloads folder, so I will click Save. And let's go open up the Downloads folder and see what that looks like. So there it is. And that is the finished project. Have fun, everyone!